Hi everyone, I'm Dana from Video
Hello,
Consulting
and I'm Bridget from Shift 1 Degree.
and welcome to today's video, which is going to be about
Facing your fears.
yes.
Yeah. And fears are things that we are not aware of that we actually have, but it's our limiting beliefs and it's things that stop us from moving forward and stop us from really living,
Yes,
actually.
because we let our fears control us. How
We
can we
do.
grow? And we do. And I can say it on my side that in the last few weeks, I realized that I'm fighting with myself about certain stuff between what my intuition is saying to actually what my fears are saying.
Yes. And the
And then I
fear is
realized that I need
powerful.
to stop let my fears control me, and it's in everything. Even if
Mm-hmm.
it, because my fears get me to second guess myself. Am I
Yep.
doing the right thing? Yes or not? In my relationship wise, in business wise,
Mm-hmm.
with everything, with my decisions. So don't let your fears control you. I think that's the most
No.
important thing. Like, don't let them control you. But that's why the first step is going to help you.
Yes. So when you are feeling afraid, what is it that you're afraid of? Like, what is the worst case? If you're being chased by a lion and you're about to get eaten, I get it. Of course, you're going to be afraid. Who wouldn't be afraid? But the chances of that happening, the odds of that happening, it's unlikely. Let's be realistic. It's unlikely. So, therefore, what is the worst case? So, what are you actually afraid of?
And write it down to yourself. And as I said, if you
Mm.
write it down, you won't let it
But
control
you
you.
break
You
it
won't let
down.
it do,
Yeah.
you know? Because in life, eventually, you can decide how you want to grow, like where you want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to let your fears dictate it, so you're not going
You're
to get
gonna
that
let
far and you're going to be
no
so
bored,
miserable and feeling
bored.
sorry on yourself all the
Mm,
time and like boo hoo, boo hoo.
yeah,
No, like you don't want to. You
yep.
want to push yourself. And if you conquer your fears, you're going to feel amazing with yourself
Excited.
and so
Yeah.
excited. And you're going to be in a better place, like on energy level,
Mm-hmm.
on every type of aspect in your life.
And opportunities will come your way that would ordinarily never have come your way if you stand in your fear. It's very powerful. Even if you do like little daily challenges where you think, okay, what am I afraid of? And just within that day, do something that makes you step into your fear.
It is, and I can say we both had a fear on the first time that we wanted to do like a podcast,
We
and
did.
like how to put yourself out there and
Mm-hmm.
to expose yourself. And you know what? And I think we both said it like in the morning that we both didn't sleep well at all the night before.
Yeah,
And look at us now, we overcome that fear. We're enjoying it.
exactly.
I'm even pushing myself to do videos by myself, which
Yes.
it took me time, and I'm still learning. So yes, I'm still learning to like the camera. It's easier when you got someone else. So find a way. So I find my way to
Mm,
do it is to do it with someone else. So it feels
me
more
too.
comfortable. And after that,
Yeah.
when I felt comfortable, I start to push myself until I'm gonna get more and more comfortable with myself.
And who
So
knows, you could become a film star.
yeah. I'm like, hey, Hollywood, here I come. I'm the next guy to walk. What do you mean?
Okay,
But
the second one is tying into the first one of the worst case scenario. So when you are facing your fear, so let's take this for example. So we were both afraid of doing this. So what is the worst case? The worst case, the Wi-Fi cuts out,
it
the
happened.
electricity, we have electricity outage, I don't know, battery dies, and then what? Who cares? You start
Also, if
again.
people didn't like it, so what? We did it for ourselves. It's
Absolutely.
like, what you push yourself. Because we keep
Yeah.
on saying all the time in our videos, push yourself to do things outside of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to do it.
And don't be
And
attached to the
even find,
outcome.
write to yourself a
Yeah.
list of, let's say, 10 things that you are afraid of, that you want to conquer. Put it as
Mm.
your goal for 2020.
And
Write down
just
this
do
and just start
it.
doing it. Slowly, slowly, step by step, do
Empower
it.
yourself. Yep.
It
It's
is,
very
and I think
empowering.
the nice thing is also maybe to share with other people what your fear is, right? Because then
Yeah.
someone else knows, and then you committed to that. You say,
Mm-hmm.
"This is my fears. This is what I want to learn." So I can say even on different things, I've decided that there are certain poses I want to learn in yoga. So I just said it out there. I told my teacher, "This is my goal for this year. This is what I'm gonna do, and I don't know how, but I'm gonna conquer it, and I'm gonna do it." So just push yourself and get it out there.
It's
Because this is the
also,
first step in everything, I think. Just get it
yeah,
out
but
there.
also it's the only way that you really, really become consciously aware of actually how unstoppable and how powerful you are. And if you're always standing in your fear, you limit yourself. You're not believing that you are worth more and you can do more. Whereas when you stand in it, you overcome it, you're like, I
And you're
can
like,
do
oh, I'm done it.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
you feel pretty tough. Yeah. The third one is list the things which you can and you can't control. So what we mean by that is we
That's very
can't
important.
control the Wi-Fi connection. We can't control the electricity. There's certain things we can't control. So if that goes wrong when we're doing our podcast, so be it. But the things that we can control is redoing it, making it on another day, doing it again, whatever the case is. But those things we can control.
It is, and I think like in everything in life, and that was actually we spoke about it like today earlier that I said that one of my conclusions from the last like few weeks in my life that I cannot control everything, and I need to learn to let go and just let things be. Because it is, as you said, like you cannot control it all.
No.
You can, even if you have a business opportunity and you got to the business opportunity and you sold it to the person, but something happened in that person's life and it doesn't have the money now.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do to control it.
No.
At that moment, not. Like, like eventually.
And don't be fearful that that's going to be the last person that's ever going to work with you.
And
or think that's the last opportunity you're ever going to get.
And I'll give you, like, for example, something like from my side. I think, like, the first day I came to the country and I was staying in Joburg and I landed with my cousin and my sister was supposed to join the day after. I knew exactly what's the apartment that I'm going to come to because I've closed it from, like, back home. Then I'm landing and I get a phone call. And the lady tells me, listen, I don't have an apartment for you. The couple decided they're getting a divorce and then they're not renting it out. I'm like, just landed. So many suitcases. I've got no place to stay. What am I going to do? So you know what? I've just dealt with it. I just started to look in a different way. I told her maybe try to find me something else in the building. Bottom line, eventually, she find me a better apartment in that building and I negotiated on the price and I got in the same price that I wanted to. But that's it. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? I found a solution. And I came like literally with a suitcase. I was like, sure, well, I'm going to stay. So overcome it. Deal with it. Like, don't let it control you. And like, you can fall down for a few minutes or like if you have something worse than happen, like, fall down for a bit. But pick yourself up. That's part of how you're going to deal with your fears and, manage them.
Yep. Okay. So the last one is taking action. And that is a big thing because when you are in that moment, you have literally two choices. Are you going to stand and get frozen in fear? Which is
exactly what I said in my example now.
Exactly. Or are you going to go, okay, so what do I need to do? And I think if you're taking action, there is less time to feel fearful because you are being in action of overcoming your fear. So you're not feeling it because you're so busy doing, right?
So that's what and again, if I look at my example, that's exactly what I did because I was sitting there. I was about to burst in tears because I'm like, I've got the responsibility of my cousin and my sister. Like, what am I going to do? And I'm like looking at the office. I'm not familiar with the area. Where the hell am I going to find? And I just said, you know what? Calm down. You're going to sort it out one way or another. And then I was just like searching online, chatting to that like real estate, like just moving things. And in 2 hours, I had a new place. And it just happened in the same building, literally. And I stayed there for like 3 years.
Imagine if, okay, I'm going to take this to an extreme example. But imagine if she'd gone, oh my gosh, I don't have a place to stay. And she'd gone, okay, well, I don't know how to go and find another place. I don't know the language. I don't know the people. I don't know the town. I don't know anything. I think I'm just going to I'm going to wait at the airport and then I'm just going to see what happens and just going to sit here. And I mean, like, bad example, but anything can happen if you just sit in it. Like, where are you going if you're just sitting in it and not actually
or just sitting action. And actually becoming like a homeless in the street, I think.
Yeah,
like if I would
she could have been homeless. No more videos, she would be homeless. Exactly. So we could just recap on those. The first one.
What are you afraid of? Just write a list of what your fears. That's the first step always. Acknowledging what are you dealing with. And just put it out there. So it's just in front of you. You know exactly what. And just set up goals for 2020. How you're going to deal with it and conquer.
Yes. The next one is the worst case scenario. So what is the worst thing that can happen if you make a big change and you stand in your fear and you take your power back? What is the worst thing that can happen?
And you know what? I'm going to share this example, but like I literally recently saw someone that I haven't seen for a while. And when I first came to the country, I was working with that guy and he was at the top. And then I saw him and things happened in his life. He wasn't planning it. And that's part of you saying, what's the worst case scenario? He became from the top to the bottom. And instead of feeling sorry for himself, and let's go to the number 4, we said taking action. And what's worst thing that can happen? He just took action. He said, okay, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. He's still busy working on a startup instead of like other stuff he had. And just pushing yourself to get up. And that's it. And do things and not giving up. And that's part of it.
Yeah.
So don't let these things like happen. Like worst case scenario, he got from the top to the bottom, but he didn't let it control him.
No, because that's
He's
life.
dealing
It
with it and he's doing
happens.
something and he's taking actions, and that's
Yes.
the important part. And he's taking control. He's taking accountability.
Very important. And the last one is make a list of the things that you can and that you can't control. So if something's out of your control, don't stress about it. Don't worry about it.
It
Don't feel
wasn't. He's
fearful.
in control and he's dealt with it. So
Yeah.
that's it.
So yeah, those are the 4 tips on facing your fear. And share, or your fears rather, and share with us fears that you're going through and where
And how
did
did
you
you
deal with them?
them?
And that's what we would love. So just
Yes.
share with us and give us some tips. And because I think when we all share, we feel like we're part of a community of
It is.
like-minded people. Because
And
we
you
all
know
have them. We all
what?
have
You're
fears.
also going to discover that a lot of us have the same fears.
Yes.
And you're going to learn how each and every one of us deal with them. And we're just going to grow out of it. So let's
help
support each other and
Yeah.
let's help each other grow. And we can do it.
Thanks,
So
everybody.
thank you. See you next video. The next topic, by the way,
is making changes.
Yes. So see you next
Next
week.
week. Bye.
Bye.